Once upon a time, in the heart of the colorful forest, lived a brave little boy named Sammy. Sammy was known throughout the forest as a protector and keeper of the peace. His best friend Serena, a wise girl with magical powers, and Zeke, a brilliant inventor, accompanied him on every quest. It all began on a calm night when the forest was glowing under the moonlight. Suddenly, an enormous shadow loomed above the treetops, its voice echoing through the night air. You may have thought you won, but my defeat is not complete. I am the last shadow of the ancients, and I swear to destroy everything. Hearing this, Sammy exclaimed, "We must act quickly before he fulfills his threat. We won't let the colorful world fall again." Sammy discovered a secret about an ancient army of color warriors mentioned in the Book of Crystals. These warriors, said only to be awakened from their slumber inside the Cave of Time, were rumored to be strong enough to defeat the last shadow. The challenge was that the cave continuously moved due to a time enchantment, making it hard to find. Undeterred, Sammy and his team set off on their mission. On their journey, they stumbled into a land filled with magical sands that twisted their path, always bringing them back to where they started. Zeke cleverly invented a device that used crystal energy to guide them, and Serena cast a spell to slow the shifting sands effect. Together, their skills led the team through the sands and towards the elusive cave. Inside the cave, they discovered enormous statues of color warriors, each wielding a magical weapon. But a guardian spirit appeared, saying, "To awaken these souls, you must prove your worth through 3 challenging trials." The first trial was a test of courage, where Sammy faced a gigantic dragon made of shadows. Despite the dragon's might, Sammy bravely used the crystal to shatter the shadow's heart and won. In the second trial, Wisdom of the Heart, Serena had to choose in a mirage whether to save Sammy or Zeke. Her cleverness shattered the illusion using her own magic, proving her wisdom. The third was the test of creativity, where Zeke had to design a magical gadget within an hour to breach a time barrier in the cave. Thanks to his ingenious inventions, he opened the final path. Upon completing the trials, the souls of the color warriors awoke, pledging their allegiance to Sammy and his friends. Sammy returned with the color warriors to confront the last shadow, now building an enormous castle in the skies, suspended by a colossal dark cloud. Serena used a flying enchantment to aid the army's reach to the castle, while Zeke created tiny planes for the warriors to navigate freely. As they approached the castle, the last shadow unleashed enormous shadowy creatures to attack them. The army divided into teams, with Sammy leading the first towards the castle's core. Serena steering the second to disrupt the magical shields around it, and Zeke deploying his gadgets to blast through shadow barriers. Inside the castle, Sammy faced the last shadow himself. The shadow was giant and intimidating, drawing power from a dark spring in the castle's center. During the fight, the crystal's energy began to deplete under the shadow's enormous power. Sammy realized that the only way to defeat the last shadow was to destroy the dark spring, a task requiring all the crystal's energy. Bravely, Sammy decided to use the crystal's full power, even if it meant losing it forever. At the final moment, Zeke and Serena joined him, using spells and devices to enhance the crystal. In a dramatic climax, Sammy unleashed the crystal's energy towards the spring, causing a magnificent explosion of bright colors that lit up the sky. The shadow began to vanish, screeching, "You won't be rid of me so easily. I will return one day." As the shadow faded, the castle crumbled, but Sammy and his team managed to escape using Zeke's magical planes. Sammy and his team, along with the color warriors, returned to the forest, greeted as heroes. Despite their victory, Sammy felt it wasn't over. The shadow could return, and they must always be ready. The chapter ended with Sammy holding a small piece of the broken crystal, determined to protect the colorful world at all costs. The end of part 93 of the story is filled with action, suspense, and big confrontations, captivating the audience and leaving them eager for more.